So in the conversation as to whether or not being gay is a choice or you're born that way, being bisexual is a choice or you're born that way, being straight is a choice or you're born that way, I said that you're born that way, that it's not a choice. And this person said, Tom, so if it's not a choice, like you say, is it still not a choice to allow a man's privates in my mouth or rectum? So right off the bat, let's just address the elephant in the room, which is when I see comments like this, when I see people making public statements like this, it usually indicates that there's some kind of closeted behavior there or some kind of self-hatred there. So I'm guessing if we checked your computer, we would find that that very activity that you describe here is something that you long for or may have actually participated in at some point in time. But the answer to your question is, one is a choice and one is not a choice. People who are born gay were born gay. They didn't choose to be gay. People who are straight were born straight. They didn't choose to be straight. And yes, whether you're gay or straight or bisexual or something else, allowing anyone's privates into any part of you is a choice. I can't pinpoint the day I decided to be straight. I can't pinpoint the day I went, you know what, I really like Jiner, so I'm just going to stick with Jiner. No, that's not how it works. I was born straight. And over the course of my life, within my straightness, I have made decisions. I have chosen who I did and did not want to sleep with. Now, that doesn't mean that it came with a very high success rate. Got shot down a lot back in the day, you know what I mean? It happens when you look like this. But it was still a decision. Just like gay men and gay women make a choice as to who they will and will not sleep with within their gayness. They didn't choose to be gay. And what I don't understand about the argument from people who believe, like I'm assuming you do, that being gay is a choice. What I don't understand of that argument is why you think somebody would choose that. And I'm not talking about because, you know, I don't like it or I think it's disgusting. I don't give a shit what you do. You do you. But why do you think somebody would choose to live that way? Why do you think somebody would choose to be persecuted? Why do you think somebody would choose to have legislation drafted classifying them as a second-class citizen, essentially? Why do you think somebody would choose that kind of life where there's a rather large contingent of society that doesn't see them as normal, doesn't see them as human, doesn't see them as equals, and just thinks that they should be legislated away? Why do you think anybody would choose that? I mean, do you think animals in the animal kingdom who are gay chose that? You think two male lions getting it on the plains of the Serengeti just one day looked at each other and made that decision? They were like, damn, you know what? There's not a lot of bitches around here, so we're going to go ahead and Brokeback Mountain this thing. You think that's what happened? You think that one day they're just out there fucking John Wayne in it, killing gazelles and fucking maiming shit on the plains, and then the next day they look at their buddy Ralph and go, roar. No, it's born in them. That's the way they were made. And that's the thing that blows my mind about the people who are anti-gay. They're usually very pro-God. And God made everything. And God had a reason for everything. Except these people. No, those people too. They were born that way. And there's nothing wrong with them. The only thing wrong in this entire scenario are people like you who think that there's something wrong with them. Get it?